Hello, hello. We are back. Back again. Once again. Shwoo. Haha. Oh no, I forgot to fix this. It's not Miraidon Monday, it's Koraidon K'Tuesdays. Koraidon K'Tuesdays. Hello CJ, hello Oxygen, welcome, welcome. We are returned. We are indeed back for another team review. Koraidon K'Tuesdays. Lwdl, hello, hello. Yes, we are indeed back. So, for folks who didn't catch anything, catch the stream yesterday. Hello, Nagai. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For folks who had to miss stream yesterday, I'll go a quick overview of what we're doing today. We'll be reviewing the Lost Woods Draft League, which is a VGC draft. I staff in it, and I've been also doing like watch parties on all the different games for the past couple seasons here. We're in season 3. Because I want to give some draft VGC some visibility. I think it's really cool. And this season we've got so many coaches. I think we're about doubled in size this year in terms of coaches. And so because of that, we are divided into 2 divisions: the Miraidon Division and the Koraidon Division. All chosen randomly for the coaches. And so in order to cover everyone now, we've broken up the divisions on for each of their days. Miraidons will be Mondays, Koraidons will be K'Tuesdays. And yeah, what we're going to start off with is we're going to be taking a look at all coaches in the Koraidon division. We got a lot of you'll see a couple familiar returning coaches from Lwdl, but plenty of new ones as well. Additionally, I'm not going to be going through like tier listing all of these. I prefer to come at these from like I am a staff as an outside perspective onto the teams. Like I have no stakes in the game. I just want to looking at things on the outside. Taking a look and see like where I can see kind of like maybe some like the strength of the team are, like what I can see, how I see the coaches going, and kind of maybe some like strengths that they can double down on, or maybe some weaknesses, some patches to clean up there. But these are all just a general overview, just taking a look at them. The coaches know their teams better than I do, so there's been plenty of times in the past I've been like, I'm not so crazy with this team. And then it was very good. So yeah, these are just initial first impressions. So we got 14 coaches to go through. And yeah, we'll kick it off here with the first one of the night. This is Coach Peaceful Nate. Let me just double check. I think we're good here. Yeah, you can see the coaches there. Everything good. All right, cool. So, Peaceful Nate. Get Lewis and bold of you to assume we know our teams. You know technically what your teams are. You know what their names are and the Pokemon that are in them, but do you know your teams yet? No one truly knows their team until they start playing with them, and then you fully start to feel and feel it out. But yeah, first we got Peaceful Nate here. Peaceful Nate, new coach. Welcome to Lwdl. Happy to have you. I had the pleasure of talking to you as well at some of the locals that we've had. And so I know from that this is your first VGC Draft League, which is very exciting. I remember my first VGC Draft League like it was yesterday. And I also know that going into this that you are a big fan. Like you're a Gen 1 bro, like through and through. And I respect that. So I remember we had a little bit of chat and looking at kind of like Gen 1 mons that would be really good to build around like your first draft. And I see we've gone right through it for the Dragonite, which I think is fantastic. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, for each of these teams, I'm going to be going through and I like to highlight kind of like a secret MVP of like, keep an eye out for this mon because I think it's really good in this team and maybe underlooked, and just want to give a shout out to like the mons we don't usually see that can be good in a draft format. But yeah, so yeah, building on Dragonite here. And honestly, looking for this team for a first draft, this is a very solid team. I know you have there's a ton of trades you had before at the beginning to switch some stuff around, but I think those are really, really good good trades. I think you were talking to some other folks about like advice on what to pick up and things, and but I really like what we've got going on here. So obviously we're building around the Dragonite. Already to begin with, Dragon type plus Fire type with redirection, always fantastic. Magmortar is a great redirector. But we got things like your Whimsicott here, a nice Intimidator with Hitmontop. Your Gengar, which I spoke about yesterday, about how good I think Gengar is. This won't be my secret MVP for this one, but we'll get to that. But you also have like a really solid like you got your Tailwind mode and you got your Trick Room mode. I mean, you're great, some good speed control around here. Bronzong is a really cool addition to this team. I think this is a very solid pickup. I know I saw this was your trade, like after the draft and before the season starts. And I think it was fantastic because it's a really great defensive set, and you have a lot of tools to really help with it. You can go Magmortar Dragonite, Magmortar Bronzong. Even to an extent, the Blastoise is really good for the Bronzong too. You got your fake out Blastoise into Bronzong Trick Room, click Water Spout, have a fun day. And so yeah, it's a lot of really good stuff, and this is a really really solid team. The Raichu is definitely definitely interesting here. I think it's still it's solid, but we typically see it on to utilize the Lightning Bolt. It's got good speed in 110, that's great. But there is, if you still want to stick with your Gen 1 teams, there is a Jolteon that is on the draft board and is technically cheaper than Raichu. Jolteon is fantastic in draft. But I could definitely see Raichu working. It does have Fake Out, which Jolteon doesn't have. So we'll there's a couple things. I think the ghost types are probably going to be a little bit of an issue for the squad, because I know there's a couple Basculegions in here. Definitely Annihilates. Those are going to be a little bit tricky to break or difficult to deal with. You have a Crocodile's pretty solid into that as your dark type. I forgot to mention that as well. The Crook, Bronzong cover each other very, very well, which is great. But yeah, having a ghost types is going to be a little bit tricky. You there's some decent coverage. Unfortunately, Hitmontop doesn't get knockoff, and it's really annoying that it doesn't. Its best fighting type move, I believe, is Thief, which is not that bad for technician stuff, but it gets Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch not bad. Hello, Walkwell. Hello. Yeah, Thief. And so Sucker Punch is technically its best dark type move, but it gets Thief as well, which is boosted by Technician. I'm curious, what is... So yeah, having to rely, Gengar will help with that, Crocodile will help with that, and besides that, I think there's like a couple dark type moves in Lucario to help with the ghost types, but those will just be tricky to keep in mind. Ground coverage could definitely be, I mean, ground spam could also be a tiny bit of an issue, but you got coverage on the D-Knight with like ice moves, Whimsicott can run a grass move. Does Magmortar get Energy Ball? I forget. It doesn't, so that doesn't like, the Blastoise will be decent too for the ground types. I think it's more of like the ground resist is but like you got, I mean, Brown Song's decent, Whims is good for ground, and D-Knight too. Yeah. The ground types I think they're like decently checked, but it's something that like a weakness of the team that I think we'll just keep in mind. Because ground types are very good in draft. But that will bring me to my secret MVP of this team. And I want to shout it out to Lucario. I think Lucario is a fantastic pickup for this squad. Similar to what I'm talking about kind of with Undead Paradox's team yesterday, a D-Knight Lucario lead is super, super solid. Double inner focus, can't be intimidated, can't be faked out. Granted, it's a little slower than the Undead's version, but it's still going to be like you can easily just sash the Lucario and call it a day. But with things like having to run Lucario, you can go either physical or special if you need to, and like pretty decent coverage. You got some good priorities here. Extreme speed's gonna be fantastic. If you get the coverage there is not too bad. Feint will be great. And for the special, like Aura Sphere, there's your dark type. Deep Pulse is gonna be good. Shadow Ball, Vacuum Wave as well. You could go Final Gambit if you really need to, but it's kind of okay for that. But there's like other modes with the Lucario that could work too. And I will just say, Whimsicott does get beat up, and I'll just leave it at that. As we're talking about Lucario, let me just double check on that. Yeah, it does. All right, cool. We'll just leave it at there. So fun stuff to there, but like overall, I think it's a really solid team. Got some good coverage, all a bunch of good stuff, and you're staying true to your roots as for the most part as like really like good early generation mons that can hold up against a lot of the power creep in this. So really looking forward to the season. Looking for the first really solid squad. I hope you get a wonderful success with this. Next up, we got Hawk, returning coach. Welcome back. I believe it was Hawk that was, I think for the past 2 seasons that they were here, it was all kind of rain team. So it's cool to see like the difference, like breaking out of the comfort zone here. And this is definitely like, this is a really cool, unique. So obviously Rillaboom, interesting for the Rillaboom Slowking pickup to begin with. It's going for like real bulky kind of setup stuff, and having something like Mandibuzz on that is really, really great because you can just plot, you can Grassy Seed on the Mandibuzz, and you're good to go. This thing's gonna be living like plenty of good physical hits. You got your Tauros Blaze is pretty cool, pretty solid. The Clefairy Hydreigon is gonna be a really, really cool duo here to redirect anything the Hydreigon doesn't want to, the moves that Hydreigon doesn't want to take. Volbeat, very good. I think I just realized, I don't know if any of the... Hold on, I need to check this. 1 second. I'm trying to see if anybody in the Miraidon division picked up these bugs. They did not. That's crazy. So yeah, this is the first time we're seeing the this is the first time we are seeing the Volbeat or Illumises, which are typically not the best mons like in regular VGC, but having a Prankster Tailwind, very good. And Volbeat and Illumises have their niches here. If any other coaches in the Miraidon division needs a fast Tailwind setters, these bugs get the job done very well. Yeah, really a bunch of bulky stuff here. And so I see things like probably the Metagross, Hydreigon coming to a lot of games. Rillaboom, obviously, protecting stuff from the Metagross. You remember the Specs, Prim, Volbeat, Espathra team in Reg H? I vaguely remember it, but that's very cool. I think that's also a mon that we're not seeing this season. I think Espathra was picked up in the past 2 seasons of Lwdl, but I don't think anyone picked it up this time around. So yeah, there's like a lot of this, but there's also like there's pseudo sand mode with Sandaconda. If you want to do some shed skin stuff, Rillaboom will like help with that to offset chip. Berserker won't get by it, Metagross won't get by it. Put a overcoat on the Andabuzz. Yeah. Double weather on the Volbeat, you can change the weather types. Very cool. That's really, really cool. I love Weather Ball. Weather Ball is such a cool move. But yeah, taking a look at the squad here. I think off the bat, I mean, you've got Koraidon. I'm gonna say like flying's a little bit iffy, but you've got Koraidon. You'll be able to have raw coverage on your Sandaconda. I believe Slowking gets like T-Bolt, but like that could get a little bit spooky. I think the fire's like, the fire's okay. Because I think Slowking, Hydreigon, and to an extent Tauros can take care of the fire type mons that want to show up here. But having like Fairy's fine because you've got Berserker and Metagross here. Tauros, Blaze is neutral to them. Yeah, I think the thing I see with this is that there's no like immediate like oomph power. Like I just need to destroy something. I mean, you could go like Metagross can get that job done. You could life over the Hydreigon, but I love this. I love Hydreigon to death. It's such a cool mon. I can no longer use that mon because despite it having 6 eyes, it always misses. But in the hands of others, it would be amazing. Undead Paradox, hello! I just shouted you out because the team before had another like fast, like unfake outable lead. Yes. But I do want to highlight for this for the squad my secret MVP. That's going to be Berserker here. The Berserker has always been under my radar, and I have seen people use this mon with immense success in in Draft League. So 110 attack, pretty decent right now. 160, 70 is like decent defense, but you can easily assault vest this thing. But what really sets Berserker apart is that it has amazing coverage. Fighting type, dark type, has fake out, gunk shot, iron head, knock, sea bomb, shadow claw, throat chop. It can U-turn, it can pivot. Like really solid stuff there. You decent support with helping hands, taunt. It's got the weather's here. Charm is decent. I think that Berserker is definitely an underrated mon, especially also with this team. I do like it with the Metagross, because you could lead something like a Metagross Hydreigon and then like switch the Hydreigon out in for the Berserker and just bullet punch something and add the Steely Spirit and just kind of do tons of damage. So I definitely like this as the burst through on things, but I do think like Berserker is a really solid mon. Like boosting the Metagross, it does great under Trick Room. 50 speed is good for Trick Room. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be my my stat out here. But yeah, I think just the things I definitely is gonna be like I think it's like doubling down on the what was I gonna say? Doubling down on kind of the bulky setup could help. Because I definitely this team has a potential to be like a little too passive, but I think that there is potential for this squad. Because I think Hydreigon can do good damage, Metagross, Rillaboom, can all be great. Cryo is a pretty cool pickup too for like Icy Wind stuff. And having it get freeze dry as well to help with any of the other like bulky waters that might want to show up, because I definitely see water types being the water types are definitely a little bit of issue for the squad. Maybe like an electric type pickup, an electric mon pickup, but those are going to be a little bit few and far between right now. I mean, I just mentioned Jolteon before, but that's gonna be a hot commodity. But let's take a look here. Vigavolt could be interesting. I think you could get away with Oricorio on the squad, possibly. I mean, Pikachu. Pikachu's great. Ampharos is fine. I think Morpeko probably has some. Oh, you can't really see it because of the way the thing is here, but I think the last one I had was like Morpeko, but you already have like 2 other dark types, so. But yeah, I think it's a decent, solid squad. I think it'll be. Teams will have to plan around the sand mode, the bulky kind of just survive everything as I deal damage trades for this. So yeah, very cool. I never said anything was wrong with Rillaboom. Rillaboom is a fantastic answer to the bulky water types, but if you get into a position where something else can pin the Rillaboom, it's kind of relying solely on Rillaboom to take care of all the water types that might show up. It's just like wanting to make sure that there's, I don't know. I think I'm still thinking about this for like teams. Like there's some teams I've like noticed so far that they've like, there's defensive pieces they put all on one Pokemon. And I'll need to keep an eye out for this season to determine the viability of like placing all the defensive things on one specific Pokemon in your draft. One's coming to every single game. Like, this is my defensive answers to these specific types. I don't really have a lot of like too many switches on them. I don't know. My thoughts are still thinking through that. So yeah, I'm going to Hydreigon. That's true. Yeah. It's very true. But yeah, I think there's good stuff here. I'm excited to see the Hawk without rain. It's gonna be really cool. Very cool. All right, next up we have Elena. Elena Violet. Also returning coach. The last season she used a lot of her rain, bridge, tried and true kind of what am I thinking? I'm missing a word. Like style play. Rain, Lwdl, stuff. But used it very creatively. I'd definitely give it to them for that. Like having things like a lot of the times, some matches that Pelipper Bridge did not even come. It was just something like Stalwart or Sturdy Bridge, and you can, or even just raw stamina, and then you can do Bullet Seeds shenanigans with their Ogerpon. Like, it was really cool stuff with that. So we're definitely seeing a switch here, and I love the pivot from Reg H stuff to one of the Bridge's dastardly foes, Sneasler, and using the villain on the squad. And so there's obviously like a good tried and true Sneasler in DD stuff here. Like they go so well together. Obviously I raved about Grimmsnarl, about how I do think Grimmsnarl is good. It can be used really creatively. Volk's a solid mon. There's like a bunch of solid mons here, but the thing I see with this is just I don't think there's a lot of flexibility with this squad. It's a lot of like puts a lot of resources into the like high value stuff in your Sneasler, your Volk, your Grimms, soon Arcanine. And so like the modes that it has that does well is super strong. Like you got Caesar and DD, Volk, Grimm's pretty decent too. I could also even see Grimm Arcanine going really well. I think this Fire, Water, Grass is pretty cool, pretty solid too. I think Rotom Mo is a fantastic like budget grass type for squads. And then Ditto does Ditto things, obviously. But yeah, like taking a look, like the again, it's that like I don't know. This type chart is still deceptive. It's still kind of deceptive as well for things, because I think about like, oh yeah, we're kind of like weak to the water, but like Rotom checks that pretty well. You can like you can probably Giga Drain on your Volk. Fighting types and DD spam, and Grimmsnarl fairy attacks. The ground Rotom as well. I think the biggest thing for this team is the flexibility. Is where I'm at. I think that it can be a little bit too predictable for coaches to come into the squad, but like there's good mons here. I also see like there's a lot of pressure on the Volk here. Being able to have like Volk is a very, very good mon. But technically Volcarona is the only redirector on the squad, which kind of just pigeonholes it into like I am playing support Volcarona. Which I mean, you've got like things like you could do screens Volk, Arc Volk as well. Rotom Volk is pretty decent too. But I think maybe trying to find some tools to help with like a Volcarona setup mode, because then you can like find a way to pin teams with hyper offense stuff. You have a little more flexibility of like, we can go hyper offense teams during DD, Mamo, Arcanine, but then we can like, the teams also have to prep for the slow bulky stuff. So yeah, I think that's what it seems. I still think it's like good stuff here. There'll be good mons. I just think that it's a little. I think it's a little too. I think it's too straightforward to prep up against. But I think I do want to give my. I'll do my hidden MVP for the Samurott here. Having the sharpness buff is really, really good. I think this is a great, a pretty cool check into like any of the psychic types that would come for the ground types, opposing fire types. I mean, granted, you have Mamo's decent against them and Arc's decent. But like being able to get spikes set up with Cecil's Edge is pretty cool. You can flip turn it. You can AV flip turn, Ice Wind, knockoff. Snarl will be good. Vacuum if you don't have your DD terrain. Do think is definitely an upgrade from regular Samurott. I think it has like a lot of flexibility. I know there's some coaches who definitely have taken a look at it and like they highly respect Samurott in the draft format, and I'd agree. I think it's a pretty solid mon. So yeah, I think that'd be my hidden MVP for this. But yeah, cool team. I'm excited to see what Elena's got here, because I know Elena finished the season very, very well last season, and I was very impressed with her play. It was very smart, methodical. So Elena's a solid player. I'm excited to see what she's got here. Next up, we've got one of the two cats in this division. Hello, Cat, a new coach here for the season. And we've opted in for a great snow team. Starting off with things like your Incineroar and Ninetales, and then picking up some fantastic Ice Mons. I mean, gotta rep my boy Baxcalibur. Love him. Love this dragon so much. Pretty great in snow teams. Having the fire types in snow is a great, fantastic. Magmar and Incin are great. The Klefki, again, I mentioned this yesterday too. Basculegion female is still a very solid budget version of Basculegion. It still gets last respects, which is still a crazy strong move, even with 92 attack, like physical attack, and would be good to kind of just destroy things as well. Plus, you got a decent like weather setters. There's, despite there being snow here, you could easily go rain mode with Klefki, with Murkrow, which helps things like the Revavroom for any of the other ice types, the Frostmoth, the Bax, which I think is pretty cool. The rock spam for these snow teams is definitely an issue. Granted, you've got like the ice buff with defenses for like Rock Slide, but like I do see Rock Slide as just kind of like Rock Slide, and you've got ground coverage in the backs, Revavroom with Iron Head. Klefki definitely like resists it, but it's not going to be doing too much damage back. So I think like some fighting type on this team I think would be pretty solid to help with the rock resist. And yeah, you lead Frostmoth Basque and you Wide Guard Surf. Can't stop that. Very true. That is true. Frostmoth does have Wide Guard, which helps with the Rock Slide spams. Yeah, I think some fighting type would be pretty good here. I also see a lot of there. Okay, so here, Magmar and Murkrow are both very, very good. They're great support mons. I've used Murkrow in draft. I think I've used Magmar in draft. I can't remember. But the fact that they're both fighting for Eviolite is gonna be tricky. I definitely noticed that with Murkrow in team building, like having the Murkrowmon really limited kind of like the lower picks that could benefit from Eviolite. That's not to say it's not a bad mod. Murkrow was, I loved using Murkrow. It was really, really, really good. I'm just thinking of like members that want to like share items. Because I assume you want to bring your Magmar and your Murkrow to the squad. So, I think so Koraidon, did they pick up both of the bugs here? Okay, so yeah, both bugs are gone. So yeah, you would have to be leaving that kind of behind. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. Because I would say, like, oh, maybe, like, choose a Klefki over a Murkrow. Choosing one of these two Prankstermons. I'd probably go for, like, the Klefki here for just, like, more weather control and to get imprisoned stuff. So, because I see, like, Klefki Basket Legion female being solid for, like, Rain Dance stuff. Unless you have another mode of screens. So if you want your Ninetales to be more like offensive and just fast like spec stuff, you can put Light Clay on your Klefki and then just do screens that way. So yeah. Yeah, Pawmot is up. I do like Pawmot for this squad. I think Pawmot was pretty solid. I definitely like that. The fighting types are there. Quaquaval could be something interesting. I like Quaquaval as well for this squad too, because it's easy to just bulk set it up and just start Aqua Stepping everything. I like that. Yeah, I think definitely some things to think about. So like the item fighting Eviolite is definitely tricky, but like there's still really good stuff here. I definitely want to give my my secret shout out to Furret here. Having a nice it's another follow me user that redirection's was great into here, and having Frisk is really good with Furret, and Furret has some pretty good utilities here. Like you can do Endeavor stuff, you can do like Helping Hand, Knockoff. The big one for me is Super Fang. Like it's gonna be tough to break through the steel types that come up into this, that will want to show up here. I mean, Instant and Magmar do a decent job into that, and you could do ground coverage again on the backs. Even, I think there's ground coverage in Revavroom too, since that's high horsepower. Having so many things that resist the ice spam, and just being able to Super Fang it to get things within range is fantastic. I think Super Fang is a great move in draft. Baby Doll Eyes, very good. Charm. So yeah. Oh, I also forgot to mention as well at the beginning for newer folks in here. This format is Regulation H, no Terras. So there's no Terras allowed on any of these. So that's why I'm looking at things in the context of you're not going to be able to Terra out of any weaknesses here. It's pure Pokemon. The way that the Arceus intended. But yeah, excited to see what this come here. I love folks who go for snow, and like I got like Baxcalibur's my boy. I got my Baxcalibur through and through. He's such a great mon, such a silly little boy. Cool. Now we are on to Breadman, new coach. Hello, Breadman. You officially, I believe it's you, Bread. That is the hold on, let me double check here. Yeah. Breadman here has officially turned this draft league into an international. This is our European representative here, and there's some really cool, there's some great stuff here. So already off the bat, we can see bulky bruiser offense team. You got your Dozogiri. Ursaluna has ridiculous HP. Dusclops is just super hard to break through. Hisuian Gudra, Chestnut. Yes, that was definitely one of the things I was going to mention to Rockwell. It's like there's like a lot of really good bulky chunky mons here. And I think the Vivillon with Frengar is a great supportive tool to just like to really really like keep like glue the team together, because it's going to be really difficult. I think Vivillon gets Pollen Puff, right? It does, yeah. So Pollen Puff for recovery. It's actually a good amount of recovery on this team. Pollen Puff on the Vivillon, Life Dew on the Gudra, Pain Split on the Dusclops, Regenerator from Reuniclus, Synthesis from Chestnut. So I definitely think that coaches will have to like respect the recovery options that this has. Like you can get things just low enough, but if you don't target correctly, they just get all the HP back. Yeah, I think the Ursaluna Dusclops is a really cool, a really solid duo. Frisk as well, really good. I like the Disquake options with Rotom Heat and Ursaluna. Both help each other's weaknesses fairly well. The Hisuian Gudra is going to be like you have to bring the ground types, and you got a pretty good ground type answer in Cloyster. Chestnut can help with the ground types. Ursaluna can just burst through it. You got Dozo, and then you got your fighting types, which I think is definitely you just rely entirely on Reuniclus to break through fighting types, which it definitely can do with Magikarp Life Orb 125 special attack. I mean, Vivillon actually to an extent can help as well, because you can get Compound Eyes, Hurricanes. Yeah. Yes. Should we call ourselves the healthy grades? Yes, I agree. That's a great. But yeah, I definitely agree with Rockwell. Having like a fake out user on the team would be like such a huge like improvement to like fake out for Gudra stuff, fake out Trick Room, fake out Iron Defense here. What do we got for fake out mod? For fake out, Ambipom could be interesting. Hitmons are decent. Medicham. Meowstic could be interesting if it's available. Pikachu. Palmot again, yes. Palmot is available. Palmot is a very good mon. But yeah, I think like if Fake Out or maybe even another redirector, I think would be that, and just double down on like you can't hit my bulky mons because they're I just stop you. But I like a lot with what I see here. I think out of everything, I see the vision with the Cloyster for checking like the ground types that want to threaten the Goodra, the Rotom, but I definitely think it could definitely be exploited. Salazzle's interesting. Lwdl is definitely interesting. I don't know, but like there's good stuff here. It's gonna be bulky. Another one of those teams that enemy coaches are gonna have to take a lot of resources to break through. I also do like you have like multiple taunt users on this team. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Dusclops has taunt like every single week. Because Haze is kind of a Haze mons are gonna be a bit of an issue if you want to set up for anything. Oh, I think it was also to like ghost types. Ghost types will be a bit of an issue for the squad because Dusclops isn't going to be really doing too much back to the ghost types. Like a dark type would help with this. Could easily help with the with this. Yeah, I think there's like good stuff going here. I think it's like the vision. I see the vision. I think the vision's like super. The vision is there, and like there's like really good tools. And I think like a couple trades probably as I start to get to know their team. A couple trades maybe down the line. As the season goes on, is definitely gonna like really help the help the squad even more. So yeah, excited to see your play, Boardman. Oh shoot. Hidden stuff. My guy Chestnut. I want to do like a small shout out to Rotom Heat because I think Rotom Heat is a really good pick, a really good core mon for the team. But I want to give it to my boy Chestnut. Another like bulletproof would be great. Like it's going to be great against those ghost types that are going to be tricky. But I mean, obviously there's Iron Defense, Body Press, but this guy's bulky enough to like do other things. You can get coaching setups. You can do Leech Seed. Knockoff is decent. Helping Hand. Pain Split as well. Another really bulky monk. Super Fang as well. I mentioned Super Fang's always really good. Wide Guard as well will be great, especially like having that Wide Guard user for this squad that wants to do like I see like ground spam or like wide Chestnut Ursaluna, wide guard Earthquake. Granted, Chestnut will kind of is resistant to the earthquakes, but you can have no damage on the Chestnut. But yeah, I think this is definitely my secret MVP. I do see Chestnut popping off in some of these games, for sure. Next we have Oath. Oath, new coach as well. I think there's a lot of new coaches here in the Koraidon Division. Hello and welcome to Lwdl. And I look at what we see here. I think this is a terrifying squad. I think both divisions that have picked up their the Dengos and built around the Gholdengos, they know their Dengo. They know Dengo very, very well, and you can definitely tell with this squad. Arcanine, Gholdengo, Eba's redirection to Gholdengo stuff. The Illumise for the Tailwind. Scrafty, who is going to be my secret MVP here. Scrafty, Gholdengo, fantastic together. But I also want to point out that there was also a Thwacky pickup for this squad. And Thwacky Masquerada is going to take names. I'm calling it here right now. Like, what? Even if you are, like, resisting the Flower Trick with the Grassy Surge buff onto it, like, this is gonna be like, this, like, it's gonna be taking names. And I think Milotic as your bulky water type for things like the ground types, like Masquerada, Melodic, Thwacky, takes care of the ground types that Dengo doesn't like. Melodic could also take care of the fire types. Yeah, and Illumise is a great pickup as well, because I believe Illumise is the bug that gets Fake Tears, right? Yes. So that's going to be terrifying. But then on top of all of this, on top of the Dengo setup mode with Arcanine keeping it bulky alive, on top of the grass spam, grass recovery onto Gholdengo, they will also have to deal with the wheezing that is on this team, which is like, okay, use your abilities to like check some, like, okay, here's a grass spam. I'm gonna bring my Sap Sipper mod. Sap Sipper's not gonna work here. Masquerade is still gonna burst through you here. Okay, I'm glad this thing didn't get Helping Hand. But taunt on the Mons. You can do Toxic Spikes to chip things down. Will-O-Wisp, fantastic. Yeah, so having to prep around that. So there's like 3 like really strong modes. Like Wheezing Gholdengo is fantastic. I don't say it's fantastic, I say it's pretty good, because you can just do ground stuff, but like you have tons of answers into the ground types that want to threaten all these. And you got your Wartortle as your fake out user. Wartortle is a fantastic budget mon. Again, I do think the Wartortle and E-Buzz will be fighting for Eviolite on this team, but I definitely see them as filling similar roles to a degree. Because there's also the Bannet here as well for Trick Room. And like Bannet is pretty decent. Again, it's a Frisk user. It's not the best Trick Room or like best mon, but you get your Frisk, you get your items checked out, and got some pretty decent utility here. Technically Encore Disable mon, Helping Hand, Knock, Icy Wind. You get Trick Room, obviously. Shadow Sneak. Skill Swap is interesting. Sucker Punch, Taunt. Imprison. So yeah, losing my train of thought here. Sorry, I'm like, I was going a million miles an hour and my brain just like shut off. I mean, flying types could be a bit of an issue, but like kind of not really, because Dengo gets just in front of them. I think Arcanine gets coverage to hit them with like Wild Charge. Yeah, Wild Charge. Ice Beam on the Melodic. But okay, and then I want to talk about Scrafty here, which is going to be my secret MVP here. Scrafty is great Draftmon. Given that the draft is the amount of fairies that are around that really threaten it are kind of few and far between. Like each team's probably gonna have like one. It helps a lot with the double weakness it has, but it also is just so bulky, so incredibly bulky. And you've got your fake out. Where is it? You got your fake out. You got your dark coverage to protect you, Dengo. You can do coaching. It's got knock, snarl, taunt. And like this thing will take a lot to take down this Scrafty. And Intimidate was great. I can even see this team relying on a Scrafty setup to kind of take as a win con. Between E-Buzz redirection, you can put like a Specs and Dengo to threaten anything for Scrafty stuff. But yeah, I love the squad. I think it's really, really solid. I think of the things I see, I was just like flying types could get a bit of an issue here. And I think that if there is a team that is able to get into position for Trick Room, and outspeed that way, I could definitely see that kind of taking advantage, because relying just entirely on the Banet for Trick Room, like prevention, is kind of But like even then, like you're still kind of okay with that, because like the Illumise has Encore. It's your budget whims. Like that's great into Trick Room. Dengo's still gonna be bulky enough for that. Thwacky for priorities. Like I think this team is great. I think there's like a little tiny stuff here and there, but it's like a team that's well built, that knows its weaknesses, knows how it's going to knows what it's want. Very flexible, very different modes that all the coaches have to prep for. So excited to see what you got, Oath. Love this team. Next up, we've got AJ. AJ, another returning coach. Hello, welcome back. And we are seeing off the bat, kind of the budget version of the Reg H, kind of tried and true mons. Deep Halt. Here's your King Gambit. And then Infernape Flamigo is your Sneaslers, to have all that coverage there. You get your priority blocking in Farigiraf, which is really great for this team, and also really good for Trick Room setup. I like the Sylveon on the squad. The Mence is interesting. Having that the double dragons here. I mean, you get your Intimidator for sure, but it's like I don't know how crazy I'm feeling about the Mence on the squad here. Because there's also no redirection as well. So it's just highly relying on like fake outs to set up like trick room things, or fake outs to like maybe ments into position. But yeah, I don't know. I do still like I still also like the Abomasnow on the squad. Like I said kind of yesterday, get Abomasnow into position for Blizzard spam, and Trick Room was pretty solid. Flamigo's great too. The Flamigo as your check to the like fighting types that want to come against the Magnezone, the Bisharp, is pretty cool. The Gastro's interesting here too. Because you're just storm draining the water from Infernape, probably Magnezone, Bisharp, and that's kind of really it. I mean, I get it. I think I see it for like it's a ground type and a water type. But I'm kind of struggling to see like the cohesion into the squad here. So yeah, I think that the Ments and the Gastrodons are kind of like the question marks for me here. But like I like Magnezone on the squad. Sylveon on the squad is gonna be great. We've seen like Sylveon, like this is your Fairy Dragon Steel right here. Dragon Pulse, Magnezone, Sylveon. Beautiful, love it. Oh, you know what? I think if the Gastrodon is this available? This mon's here. Yes, and it's gonna be cheaper. Yes, it's technically 1 point cheaper. I think I like the Swampert over the Gastrodon here. You still get the same coverage, like the same typing, but Swampert works a little bit better and Trick Room can do a little bit more. You don't necessarily need Storm Drain for things, because you'll nuke the water types with Magnezone. Abomasnow can switch it in pretty well and deals with those. And like Swampert's pretty flexible in what it can do. Like you can run it physical for like all the physical moves like Knock, Liquidation, High Horsepower, Stomping, Rock Slide, Poison Jab. You could run it special and do Earth Power, Icy Wind, Mirror Coat, Muddy Water, Sludge Wave. But it has really great support moves. Like you can do curse things with it, like curse or bulk up. It has Yawn. That's your wide guard. Is there any other wide guard users? Oh, Flamigo's a wide guard. But having the other wide guard, like Yawn's gonna be really great for the squad too. Granted, Gastro also has it, but yeah, I would choose the Swampert over the Gastrodon, but again, not my team. Coach knows best. For my hidden MVP, I want to give some glaze to Infernape here. I really like the Infernape pick for the squad, and I also just want to shout out Infernape in general. Last season, I think it was like Cheese Boy coach kind of like, there was other coaches who recommended like, yeah, Infernape's really good, like you pick it up for your team, and it showed its strength on Cheese Boy squad, and I'm glad to see it again here, because it's Infernape is the real deal. Great utility, can run it mixed, great solid speed, gives you your fake out Trick Room stuff. You can do I believe, does this also get, it gets you coaching, you get your priorities, Vacuum Wave, Knocks, you can taunt, fast taunts are great, U-turns, Will-O-Wisp. Love that. Love the Infernape as like another lead for the squad. So big fan. I definitely want to like officially glaze this mon in draft because it is the real deal in draft, 100%. And it deserves to get the hype that it deserves to get this hype. So yeah, cool squad. I think I'd just be like kind of seeing the pieces that are the super strong in the team, doubling down on them, and kind of filling out a little bit of the gaps on there. I like still seeing kind of like Laments and the Gastro, how they help here to a degree. But I like these other stuff very nicely. So yeah, it'll be cool to see you again this season, AJ. Next up we got Nagai Freak, new coach. Hello, welcome. Another one of our regulars here in the Northeast US here, and they are. This is Nagai's first draft VGC draft league, I believe. But has been a pretty like VGC player through the past year. And what a way for the first VGC to show up here, as we got our first a hard trick room here. And we've got all of the staples. All the staples of the trick room are here. Indeedee Hatterene, Torkoal Lilligant, 2 alternatives, expanding force mons, 3 expanding force mons, Staraptor for the final Gambit stuff, Hisuian Decidueye I think is great too, and so yeah, the team is like full pure trick room, and opponents will have to respect that. Like, you are coming up against a hard trick room team, and you have to prepare for after you eruptions, sleep powders. The conch under the trick room as well is pretty cool too. You get your guts boost, takes care of your dark types that are a bit of an issue, and I like the Red Period too as another like as your ground type, and it's a pretty good trick room sweeper. This team, the trick room is the tried and true tools of the trick room that are here, and it's going to make this team really, really, really strong. I do see the flexibility is a little bit tricky, but like trick room is all about like making your opponent play your game. Like, I am playing trick room, you have to play my game, and so like that's kind of like the double-edged sword here. It's like I'm interested to see like how this team, how Nagai like pilots this team in the draft context, because things are going to be a little bit different than VGC, where in the typical VGC where you see all the same mons all the time. It's different mons every single week, and the coaches are going to come in prepping. Here are the tools to check trick room, and so I think that there's a couple like rooms for flexibility to take that one step ahead to predict like what the opponents might want to do. So I think first off, what could be a good addition to the team is having a something for Snarl spam. So like a competitive or defiant mon. I mean, Covert Cloak Hatterene is definitely a thing. But definitely, like, you could put in a solid, like, there's a dark type that, I mean, Hatterene also helps with the dark types, Conkeldurr, Hisuian Decidueye, but even, like, I'm kind of looking at, like, just with the last team with AJ, R2s with the Arcanine, like, Arcanine's gonna be really tricky to get through. Like, Rhyperior is kind of the only sort of Mon that can get through that. But the Arcanine can just sit there and just snarl spam. So I think pinpointing, like, doubling down on the Trick Room aspect of this is going to be the key here. And filling out the team with checks to the typical Trick Room answers. But I think it's also the benefit right now, after the draft is done, is that you know what your opponents are going to be for the rest of the season. So you can look ahead at the teams and be like, okay, here are my problem matches in the future. I want to pick up Mons specifically to help with those matches coming up in the future. So, like, yeah, and that's the only thing I got with the squad here. Like, I don't know, the couple things, like, the weaknesses here, it's just like, it's so, like, deceptive. Like, there are a lot of reds here, but again, the type chart doesn't really truly show the true nature of the team. I wonder what, let's take a look here. Braviary could be interesting for the squad, but Staraptor's already there, and Staraptor is pretty, let's see, Defiant. Competitive. I think Wigglytuff's still a bit. Wigglytuff is interesting. Yeah, so yeah, I think it's just that. It's just like pinpointing the, like, what, identifying, here's all the tools that the enemy coaches can bring to counter my Trick Room. I'm gonna get some Mons here to fix that stuff, because I mean, Delphox and Armor Rouge kind of do similar things to a degree. I think choosing one or the other is decent. I don't think. I mean, you could. There's things to do, like weakness policy, Rhyperior stuff. But yeah, okay. So, hidden MVPs. I want to shout out the Hisuian Decidueye on this team. I like the Hisuian Decidueye a lot. The Scrappy is going to be great for, like, we already see here that the Ghost types are going to be an issue, but, like, what's the Hisuian Decidueye into those? It's got decent enough speed to, like, where are we here? 60. Yeah, that's going to be great under Trick Room. It's kind of like your budget. I think Hisuian Decidueye is kind of like a budget Glade in a way, sort of, to a degree-ish. But I like having the second grass type, in addition to the Lilligant, to check the water types that want to come against the Torkoal to resist the eruptions. That pin on that is really great. So, yeah, and we can look like Decidueye here, like Leaf Blade, Close Combat, Knockoff, Sucker Punch, Triple Arrows. I mean, just Triple Arrows. It's gonna be great. U-turn for pivot stuff. And then Haze is gonna be good, like having that Hazemon there. It technically gets Tailwind, so you could go a Tailwind mode in the squad. Staraptor and Decidueye could get the job done easily. And then you also can't get slept. Like, I mean, you can't get spored, rather. Like, spore immunity, spore immunity, spore immunity. And also can't be redirected with Rage Powder. That's going to be really big, too. Like, the teams will have to respect the Decidueye. Despite the typing not being the best, like, it will get the job done, 100%. But, yeah, still like the team. It's a great hard trick room. I'm excited to see you pilot this season. Yeah. Also one thing for the Decidueye too is like it's an alternative to Conkeldurr as well if you want to like burst through the dark types. That will probably also want to come. So yeah. Next up we got Mogo. New coach to the draft league, but also very very prevalent player in the VGC circuit as well. And like this team I do not envy anybody who wants to go up against this team. There are so many shenanigans here. So, Bridge Politoed. Yup. There's your rain, there's your Electro Shot. Gothitelle. Alright, Shadow Tag. Perish Song. Perish Song. Perish Song. Perish Song. So there is a Perish mode in the squad. But you can go Trick Room, because you can do Hariyama Gothitelle stuff. Kilowattrel is going to be fantastic as the fast mon. If you want to go like a Tailwind and it just bursts things down. You want to Intimidate to prevent things like the Hariyama from getting set up. Yeah, nice try. I have a whole Kilowattrel here. The Torracat is your budget Incineroar to just pivot. Fake out, pivot. Fake out, pivot, fake out, pivot. Does the Ludicolo... One of the things I'm definitely excited about this season is that both divisions have picked up Ludicolo. And Ludicolo has like the history in the rain teams in the past, and I've rarely seen it this generation. And I'm fairly new to VGC and the timeline of things, so I wasn't around for Ludicolo rain Swiss Swim stuff. So I am excited to see this little guy pop off in both divisions. Oh, I thought this thing got Perish Song. I lied. See, it's exactly, I'm fairly new. I thought this thing got Perish Song, it didn't. So your Perish users are your Politoed and your Mismagius. So you have to respect that. But let me see, did it give this thing Flip Turn? It does not look it. But yeah, I think this team's solid. Getting the Umbreon here too for another bulky mon. Like this is gonna be hard to break. This is a hard team to break through. And by the time that you do it, 2 of your mons will already be dead, and a Perish Song will be on the field. I really don't have like too much to say for this. There's special firepower, there's physical firepower, there's bulk, Trick Room, good Tailwind user, Perish Songs, you can go bridge stuff. I think the triple fake outs will be good. I'm trying to think if like a redirector would be interesting here. Maybe. Maybe something like a Venonat, if any of the Venos are available. That could be funny. Yeah, Venomoth is available and Venonat are available. Those could be funny. But you'd have to give up like a really crucial piece, and like honestly, all these mons look like they're all doing something. They're all gonna pull their weight. So, yeah, I'll give my secret, my hidden MVP to the Umbreon. I mean, people know how good Umbreon is. It's super bulky, but I think with this team, it's going to be really gross to break through. You have to bring a fighting type into here, and Goth, Kilo, Azu's decent against that. Mismatches to a degree. And you bring your fairy types. What's a bridge to a fairy? If you have strong bug type, you can get the Umbreon, but like this thing is gonna be with inner focus too. Like, is it another like Umbreon? This is Torracat Umbreon is basically in Center War for this team. They just do it together. They just split up the roles a little bit to a degree. So yeah, I think this is you have to. Coaches are gonna have to be really smart about what mode is gonna be brought into them. You have to prepare for a lot of the different modes. And it's gonna be really tricky to prep for this team. So yeah, loving this draft. It's a really cool, unique team, and I'm excited to see Mogo use it. Next up, we got CJ, the diva themselves. Returning coach, also newly appointed staff for Lwdl. And it ain't a CJ team unless we've got the diva here, Nihilape here. For the third season in a row, I'm so glad coaches are respecting CJ's ape pick. Because that could have easily been sniped from any of these coaches before, but having CJ get their ape again for the third time, chef's kiss. So this team is like is super interesting. I've seen CJ's evolutions on the ape team is fascinating to me. So they got away with Mouse Ape, which is really cool. Mouse is going to be fantastic, like both support and pop bump in this format. I'm glad they saw seen the power of the Lwdl Persian. Lwdl Persian is so good in draft. I love this mon so much. Also bringing back the Araquanid too. So Persian's back, Araquanid's back, Ape is back. And like it's Bubble Bug. I love me a Bubble Bug. But there's like really cool variations. So I know there was a couple mons that were like sniped for the game plan here, but I think like what the adaptations have come with this is make it a really unique variation on Mouse Ape that I think requires coaches to think a little bit differently about how they come up to the matchup. Because you've got your this is your the fire, the kind of like a trick room mode obviously was kind of planned here, but you've got your Ninetales Hisuian Lilligant, like that's gonna be great. Chlorophyll on the Hisuian Lilligant, breaking through all the steel types and rock types that want to like let Mouse hold like pop off, literally pop bomb off. Gives you really fast speed, the Glow King, I love the Glow King for the squad. Checks the fairy types that wanna come against the ape, that wants to come against the Lwdl Persian. The regenerator as well is gonna be great. Like you're gonna have to bring the like dark types, which a lot of answers to that here. You're gonna bring your ground types. You got Araquanid, Bruxish, Lilligant. Glow King's really supported well here. And then you got your Eruption user in your Camerupt as your another fire abuser between the Ninetales and the Camerupt. Ninetales will be also interesting in the supportive in supportive too, because it's an Encore Disable Mon. Helping Hand. You can roar things. Will-O-Wisp. Howl is going to be really cool. Like, it's a lot of great utility for the squad. But yeah, get your Eruption into here. Camera up. Just boom. Destroy things. And then my beloved. I will say here, since we got a lot of new coaches here, I will say this again because I'm so proud of this. I am Bruxish's strongest soldier. I like Bruxish, both in what it does and its design. If Bruxish has one fan, I am Bruxish's fan. I understand people who think this mon is absolutely terrible to look at. I think it's a cool design. I like design. It's like the so ugly it's cool design in my eyes. And Bruxish in draft, oh baby, I want this fish again so bad. I love what this fish can do. It's not going to be my hidden MVP because we'll get to that in a second. But I love that for the dazzling, for protecting from priority against the Hisuian Lilligant. Like, you get your speed advantage on things, and Bruxish just prevents that. The Trick Room. Having that other water type, you can leave the fire behind. You can do like Bruxish, but you can also like Strong Jaw stuff. It's dazzling into Scarf for Icy Wind is very cool. One of my favorite ways to use this mon as a speed control mon. That's definitely one of the things here that I see is that there's no Tailwind, which could get a little bit dicey. But you have a lot of Trick Room setters, so like they'll have to respect that. And even if they Trick Room, they still have to. Hisuian Lilligant will still be at 105 speed. I mean, even if they Tailwind, I should say, they're still 105 speed on the Hisuian Lilligant they have to deal with. So I could definitely see a Tailwind somewhere on the squad. Just released to like, it doesn't need to be a hard Tailwind center, but just like something to just like secure, like I need to get faster than these mons. And I can't afford to do Trick Room because my Trick Room mon will die. Here's a Tailwind, boom, Ape cleans up. Fast Araquanid cleans up. Turbo Fast Camera Up can just clean up. Yeah, and the Sun mode is just like soft, so the water types I think are still going to be able to do fine here. But I want to, as my hidden MVP for this team, I actually want to point out the Mimikyu on the squad. Because one of the things I saw, and I've never thought of this before, is Mousehold Mimikyu is going to be a gnarly duo together. Like, you will have to bring spread damage in order to get the Mimikyu. You just follow me into Swords Dance. Mousehold takes everything. Mimikyu is in like easy. You set up the Swords Dance, and the disguise isn't broken yet because you're redirected for the Mousehold, and like they'll check the fighting types that want to go against the Mousehold, you can do that for such an easy Trick Room setup here with Mousehold Mimikyu. Like, these two together are going to be really, really gross. I'm excited to see that. I have been with Mimikyu. I love Mimikyu. I think its design is really cool. In my hands, I've found it underwhelming for myself, but I see the vision on this team, and they're going to be coaches that are better using them on than I am. So I also am. I think it's also, when I used it, it was picked up for a team where all my mons had inaccurate moves I had to hit in order to win, so I was kind of scarred by that. But yeah, I like the Mimikyu here. the so yeah, I mean, yeah, I think probably the thing I just look into a Tailwind Mon. This is also a little bit of an issue here, is like more flying type is gonna be like, there's not really too many things that hit flying types that want to come here. So maybe like an electric type of some sort. God, all these teams need electric types, and like the Koraidon Division has like so few to choose from. I could definitely see the angle of, so either go Tailwind or you can go an electric type to check the flying types. Because like, let's see, there's really not much to choose from here. Pawmot is available. As we've always said. Ooh, Rotom Fan is interesting. Rotom Fan is definitely underrated as a draft mon. I think it's really solid. I could definitely see Rotom Fan being great in the squad. Oricuro Pom Pom, silly. It's actually a good amount of options. The Jolteon obviously is available. Pikachu, yeah, it's actually a decent amount of options. So yeah, I think there's like really cool, unique stuff here. Doubling down on like the ape setup, a lot of different modes, and I think just like honing in on the modes as the other coaches had. I think like shining them, polishing them up is gonna make this team beautiful. So yeah, really looking for this season. Really cool. I'm excited to see this is a bunch of cool mons. I'm ready to see CJ pop off. So yeah. Next we have the second cat. This is Cat with the exclamation point. So Cat here has got a rain mode. To a degree. You got the Pele Basque Legion, which is tried and true. Together, gonna hit like a truck. Kingdra alternative. I really like the Hisuian Zoroark on this squad because you there's a lot of mons that really benefit the illusion. Hisuian Electrode, Basque Legion, Pelipper, Smeargle. Smeargle Hisuian Zoroark is so gross. That's terrifying. One, you're gonna have to predict, is this Smeargle gonna sport me? Is this gonna be a problem? Like, what do I have to protect from the Smeargle? And by the time you're thinking through that, it just scarfed into Hyper Voice blows you up because it's a Hisuian Zoroark in mine, and you fighting type into it and it doesn't kill. Like that is so, that's gonna be difficult to prep against. And the Tink is a great support option too. Checks like, are you gonna have to bring like ground types and fire types don't really, that Tinkaton's weak to, don't want to come up against this team. There's a lot of answers into that. And it's a great supportive mon. I believe people are like, Tinkaton's, I got 75 attack, that's not that great of a mon. It's like, I think it's supportive mood pool, and its abilities, I think, makes up for all of that. Yeah, the Power Spot Basque Legion in Rain is going to be very gross. But also I glazed Hisuian Electrode as well yesterday. Love this mon, very solid in draft. What's actually interesting, like, so I like the back half is like kind of like, the Power Spot Stonejourner is just be like, yeah, that's gonna be like hitting like a truck. I'm kind of like trying to see how about Stonejourner helps here. I mean, Stony J is great. And then I don't know. I want somebody to actively use Weird Ear. Because, like, I don't know what to think about this mod. Because it has, like, a pretty cool move pool. Its abilities are great. But, like, its stats are kind of like, you can run it physical or special. Its typing is good. It gets Frisk. I want somebody to, like, I want to see Weird Ear in the context of draft and its viability. Because I want to believe in the deer. I'm a deer believer. I want this thing to be good. So, yeah. I think for like the thing for this team that I probably have is I think I said it before, like something to check another dark type, because Tinkaton definitely is like your answers into dark types, but like it's kind of the only answer, and Tinkaton does help against the dark types, but it also, like, it isn't the main, like, it won't nuke a dark type. It will just kind of like sit in front of them. So finding honestly, like a fighting type, or even a bug to a certain extent. I think some bug could be put into here. Yeah, Vigavolt's interesting. Quackoval and Rain is kind of funny, kind of cool. The Poliwrath, Poliwrath is fantastic. It's gonna be difficult because, like, there's two Swiss Swim users. They do different things, for sure. There might be a reason. There might be time because of power creep that the Kingdra might get overshadowed by the Basculegion, which hurts because I like Kingdra a lot. But Poliwrath is great. Fun fact about Poliwrath. Poliwrath has 95, 90, 90, 90, 95, 90. Essentially the same defensive stats as our tried and true boy Incineroar. Granted, he's not going to be hitting hard back for things, and he does lack a couple different, like, he does lack, like, good dark type knockoffs. Like, it's similar, the Poliwrath suffers from the Hitmontop effect that I have. Like, if this attack was 100, it would make a huge difference. It would put it over the line. But, big Poliwrath fan. Oh, and I also, like, if this mon got flip turn, if this got flip turn, be a perfect mon. Love Poliwrath. I think it's a very, very solid mon. I can see it working really well in the squad. Let me see here. I mean, that's kind of like what their Hitmons could be interesting. Medicham is interesting. So yeah, I think the ooh, you know what? Medicham could be interesting for this squad too. Because you're kind of accomplishing similar things with Stonejourner. If you do something silly like skill swap Pure Power into Basculegion. That's so gross. That's so gross. And it's a pretty decent Trick Room setter. There's not too many things that, I mean, Smeargle will have Sash. I don't know. So yeah, I think it'd just be like finding answers for dark types, to hit dark types, to help things with like your Basculegion is the key here. Grass types would also be kind of an issue for the squad. Because, yeah, you got Pelipper. Take a ton again, resist it. And it's got Ice Hammer. I'm sure Zoroark has some ice coverage, but, like, there's something to hit the, like, grass types would also be good for the squad. So I think checks for dark types and check for grass types will be the key, I think, to help like check kind of the weaknesses of the squad. But it's bringing power, it's bringing like mind messingness. Like you have to if a Zoroark comes, you have to figure out which. There's tons of viable options in the squad. You have to figure out what it is. So yeah, very cool, unique new team. Cat, very cool. I didn't say talk about Amoonguss. I mean, everyone knows Amoonguss, and Amoonguss I think is great in the squad. I like Hisuian Electrode with the second grass type. So yeah, cool. Next we got Chris, returning champion of season 2. Come back for 3. It's another coach that has kind of returned back to their strengths, picking up mons that they know how to use very well, like the Corviknight. I already like that we're building an Alberto Lara kind of a draft here with Chomp Knight, and then I see we've opted for Auto Palmot into Mienshao, which accomplished similar but slightly different things. But Mienshao is just I need to draft Mienshao one day in draft. This mon is just so good. But you got your Prim, the return of your Grafai, which is really cool. I like the Mabostiff on the squad too as your Intimidator. I could see the Chandelure Darkspawn shenanigans could definitely get pretty wild, but you got your Trick Rooms, you got your Tailwinds. Electivire, I think is Electivire will be, I don't know, it kind of might sit in because there's a couple different hidden MVPs here. Mabostiff, I think, is definitely one of those. I've already done a Grafai once for Chris's team, and that was like back in season 1. But then also I want to, like, Electivire is interesting here for, you got your good Redirector. Motor Drive is going to be great for the squad, for the electric types that want to come in against Corv and Prim. And it has some really good coverage, and it has 123 attack. That's super respectable. Like, it doesn't have to be a follow me bot. It can. Its coverage is fantastic. Electivire. Motor Drive is gonna be fun. You can redirect into Motor Drive stuff. But yeah, the Ice Punches, Knock, Rock Slides, all the punches, ground coverage, fighting coverage, Rock Tomb, Feint's gonna be really funny. So yeah, I'm interested to see things like the Venusaur, how that will work here, because, like, I mean, Grafai, I think we'll be able to set up Sun for it for Chlorophyll, but I don't know. I've doubted Chris Vision's teams before, and I did last season and it won the whole thing. So I trust Chris and his ideas. The Gallade is also interesting too on the squad. I'm trying to see entirely how it fits here. And like how it will be helping with the squad. I mean, Wide Guard, to a degree, it has another Trick Room setter. I don't know. I think, but the big question marks are for me are the Gallade and the Venusaur on the squad. And Grafairy to a certain extent. But like this is a Crustmon right here. Like can't doubt Grafairy. But yeah, I think this is where Chris, similar to like CJ, is like, here are the mons that I know how to use. I'm doubling down on them, and we're building a whole new team around them. And already seeing like Chomp, Corviknight, Genshou, like these first like 5 mons plop on the Chandelure. You got a solid team. Solid team. Couple new stuff in the back. You can get the Mabostiff if you want to go Trick Room, like the Dark type. Guard Dog for basically like Intimidate, just get rid of Intimidate stuff. Oh, I just noticed too that Darkspawn also gets Aroma Veil, so we'll have to keep that in mind for any sleep as well. But it's a really cool team. Really cool team. I see the vision in this one more clearly than last season's. Last season's one, and so yeah, this is gonna be really cool to see. This is the kind of team that I would play. Like I'd pick up. Like this is some a bunch of mons I like. Oh, I just realized another synergy of the squad. I won't reveal it away, but I see Chris's vision for the Corviknight mode with the squad, and I like what I'm seeing here. I like what I'm seeing to further help this Corviknight. I'm excited to see the bird pop off. Very cool. Next we have Mohammed Lumishen, returning coach. Welcome back. Also had a chance to talk to Mohammed about his draft this time around, and another folks similar to like Oxygen yesterday, of like asking around, like wanting to like really up their game. And I know that Mohammed's put a lot of thought into their draft team of just like he's like, I want to draft good mons this team and like really focus on my play. And I think that came through with this. This is such a cool squad. Already like Sinistra Komodo, definitely a tried and true duo. Sinistra Kingambit, Palafin for switch out hospitality things. You've got your fast like Talonflame mode with Glomora. Also, we're just gonna point out here to Koraidon Komodo is consistently an extremely strong mon, at least in the history of LWL. Like top teams have regularly drafted Komodo in this league. The fact that this dragon got to 8th pick is insane. That is crazy to me. But it happened, and the Komodo on this team is beautiful. Glomora will be great. Talonflame will be cool. That score is great. Again, I think Bellybolt's a super solid electric type as well. I think definitely underutilized from folks because Jessica has kind of a smaller move pool, but this thing is fairly bulky in draft, and I get Parabolic Charge and can be a real nuisance for any of the water types that want to come to this squad, which they kind of do. I think coverage is pretty decent here. I mean, you'll see there's a lot for Psychic, but like King Gambit is just a Psychic nuke. Ground types are kind of like interesting as well, but like Sinistra helps with that, and Palafin will also help with that. And there's ice coverage in the squad as well. Yeah, I like all the coverage. This is a really great team. Nothing too much that's kind of really like sticking out to me. Okay. I'm gonna use this time as well for my hidden MVP to do a similar glaze of a mon that I underrated, that should get the light of day, and that is going to be Hisuian Sneasel. Thank you for everyone for letting me see the light of how good this mon is. I was not a believer at first because, like, I mean, regular Sneasel is just better in every way. Like, you get speed control, you get fake out. I mean, you get your fake out speed control with Icy Wind. You can't be faked out yourself, and like the coverage, like knockoff and ice is pretty good for that. And like this doesn't get any speed control, but what Hisuian Sneasel does is it plays a different role than normal Sneasel, where it's supportive in a different way, and it's a budget Sneasler, obviously. So it's the typing that is the huge thing here, but it also like gets things like done similar to Sneasel. Like it does get coaching, and 115 speed is very good. You got fake out, you got coaching. So this is like the Sneasler King Gambit that's been proven. The fighting and poison coverages, they cover each other very, very well. Fast taunts. You can quick guard. Leer is very funny. And so like it's different. It does different jobs that the Sneasel does, but I think it is equivalent at a power level as the regular Sneasel, and I do like it a lot for the squad. Because his King Gambit protects like Psychic types for them as well. Ground types, Sinistra and Palafin. So, yeah, there's still a decent amount of flexibility in the squad. I mean, Kamo, you just have to prepare for every single set that Kamo can do, whether physical or special. The Gliscor is interesting as the ground type. Yeah, because you get to like check the electrics. And like you got good ice stuff with Glamora, Talonflame, Palafin, Grass for Sinistra, Lwdl. Is a decent Trick Room setter, or Tailwind rather. Another Tailwind if you don't want to bring Talonflame. It can do Poison Heal, like we've seen that with Undead Paradox. So yeah, okay. I think it's a pretty solid team. I like this. I like this right now. I think this is a great squad for Mohamed to double down on his like, I just gotta play better. These mons will keep you up. They're great mons. You've got your different modes, and these mons let you focus on your play. And I'm excited to see how it evolve over the season. Alrighty, one last squad left. Woo, we made it to the end. Woo! And we have Mr. B, returning coach. And we got ourselves a Sand Squad. This is a Sand team through and through. I'm pretty sure I've drafted the Sand team before and it looked almost identical to this. Clefable, always a great staple into the Sand squads. T-Tar Excadrill obviously is great. You got a second Sand Rush user. Toxicroak was on the squad too for water, for dry skin stuff. I like the Poltergeist pickup is also really cool too. But then you also got the P2 Ursaluna Blood Moon mode, which is pretty gnarly here. That there are 2 bulky mons, you just set Trick Room up and you just Hyper Voice. Loving the Rotom here. Also very solid. So a very solid Sand Squad. The Geezing, I want to point. Geezing is going to be my hidden MVP here because I do like it in this squad. I can definitely see you doing some things to like to shut down abilities to help the squad succeed. Gives you that fairy types, another fairy type for the fighting types that want to come to the squad, but also poison types for all the grass types that want to come to this squad as well. Having the two poison types for the grasses, 2 fairy types for the fightings. Again, more things to help protect your T-Tar. Excuse me. But yeah, it's a great shame that T-Tar will no longer be able to Terra Blast. To help with the fighting type weaknesses here, but I think Clefable and Glaring Weezing will help me enough do that. And you can just burst through everything else as well. And you use Willow with fighting types. But yeah, Croak, great budget, Draftmon, very good. And I love the Poltergeist in the squad. Probably will be fighting for Eviolite here, but I also see that there might be times that you don't even bring the P2 and you bring the Poltergeist instead, because Porygon 2 and Poltergeist 2 fits the similar roles here. And that's what I'm liking with this team is that like you got your substitutes, you got your main mons, and you got substitutes for things like, okay, if I need to switch out for this mon can sub for this mon, if I need a little bit variations here, like the 2 different Trick Room setters, 2 different Sand Rush setters, 2 different fairy types. It's great. Yeah, it's a super solid Sand Squad. Nothing too much to say here about that. It's they get the job. Oh, I think it's also I like the Geezing is like the Sand teams doubling down on the chip stuff. So things like Toxic Spike, get Toxic Spike up, and you wear them down between Toxic Spike and Sand Chip, and gets things like your Ursaluna Blood Moon to, so. Yeah, this is solid. This is great. Solid, cool Sand team. Love me Sand. I wish, please, Pokemon. I need to get more mons that are great Sand abusers and help buff our Sand weather, because it's definitely not one of the best right now. Arguably could be the worst. As Snow's got a little bit better. But yeah, alrighty. We've done it. We have made it through all the coaches. I'm so tired, but we have done it. We have done it. Cool. So yeah, that's our team review of the Koraidon Division. That was all of our coaches this season. We will be officially starting to watch party the games starting on Monday. with Miraidon games. And then in the meantime, tomorrow I will be back with Run and Bun. We'll be starting a whole new game from scratch, because I don't even remember what I left off. It's been like a month or so. I needed a little bit break from the game, but I feel ready to come back now and actually have the run. Wednesdays will probably be Run and Bun days for this foreseeable future. So we got our Lwdls on Mondays and Tuesdays, and Wednesdays will be our Run and Buns. So yeah, thanks for everyone stopping by. We'll wrap up stream there, and have a good night.